The man only accidentally fell into the fish tank, but in an instant his scalp went numb from fear. Because he had a strange illness that shrank his body by 1,000 times, the small fish naturally turned into massive creatures. Luckily the tank only had a goldfish and not some fierce species. This was how Paul barely managed to save his life, since the dark and damp basement was full of spiders. To avoid becoming spider food next, Paul directly hoisted up a bottle cap, planning to slowly move over and trap the spider. But Paul never expected the spider to have extremely sharp awareness, and it did not fall for the trick at all. Watching the spider slowly move closer to him, Paul had no choice but to pull out the sewing needle at his waist, preparing to fight the spider head-on. But he underestimated the spider's strength. To stay alive, Paul could only hide in a nearby corner, yet the spider chased after him from behind. At this critical moment, he luckily felt a small branch lying on the ground, and stabbed it hard toward the spider's head. Only then did he narrowly escape death. But there was definitely more than one spider in the basement. To find some protection, Paul had to gather some scraps of cardboard. Then he found a box of matches, planning to start a fire in the basement. But his strength was simply too weak. After striking for a long time he still could not light a match, yet Paul had no intention of giving up. After countless failures he finally managed to light one, and it was precisely because of this fire that Paul slowly began to relax. But as the days passed, Paul's body kept shrinking non-stop. By now he was about the size of an ant. When he heard footsteps coming from upstairs in the basement, Paul rushed forward without hesitation and shouted loudly. But because his body had shrunk, his voice naturally became as tiny as a mosquito. Humans could not hear him at all, and someone nearly crushed him with a single step. Only then did Paul realize this person was a real estate agent. Clearly, ever since he was trapped in the basement, his wife had already sold the house. When Paul saw the goldfish in the basement had already starved to death, he fell into deep despair. Was he really going to end up dead just like the goldfish? At that moment Paul suddenly noticed the buzzing sound of a mosquito above his head. When he saw the mosquito escape smoothly through the window, Paul realized that if he wanted to leave this dangerous place, the window was the only way out. And because his body had shrunk, the grain in the wood became clearly visible. But even climbing just one table was like scaling a 100-meter cliff for him.